that autumn wind. Shout out to the Raiders, man, we about to win.
YouTube live comments floating here. Make sure you guys are using hashtag Raiders, or you guys can super chat me like my man Ray did. What's your dream trade that's also realistic? I guess my dream trade that's also realistic, I'll say, is Jalen Ramsey for only 1 first-round pick. Jalen said in the offseason he wanted to be a Raider, and if we could get Jalen for a first-round pick and say, hey, man, we can pay you extra money because the taxes in Vegas are a lot different than, guess what, any other state, I think that's a realistic trade that the Raiders could pull. Let's go to Nicholas. What up, Nick? Let me get a sip, homie. Mitchell, what do you think about the Raiders getting Zach Brown? And I was watching the Packer game. Do you think that if you could shut down the Packers' run game, we could win the whole game? If you can shut down Aaron Jones, yes. Aaron Jones has been a very, very productive running back. He had 4 touchdowns up against the Dallas Cowboys. They won that football game very easily. But Zach Brown, to me, is just not a player that I personally really want. He got released by 2 teams for a reason. He's taken a step back. And also, I got some sources close to me at the Raiders that just, that's why I gave it only 1 Chucky head. Let's go to Chantel. What up? Get a picture. Is Devontae Adams active for our matchup? I would give this one 2 Chucky heads or 2 cheese heads, whatever the heck you would give it. He's been banged up with turf toe. He's not practicing yet this week. He's missed the last 2 weeks due to that injury. I think if I'm the Green Bay Packers, who I believe have a bye next week, if I'm the Packers, I'm going to rest Devontae Adams after the bye. That way I know he's fully healthy. And if he's out, that's obviously going to be a huge help for us, because the last time we faced a team that was without their number 1 wide receiver like T.Y. Hilton, guess what? Got that dub. Let's go to Jeff. It's been a while, Jeff. Where have you been? What's the status on Tyrell Williams? Well, if you watched our rumor show, I talked about Tyrell Williams a little bit. So he was at practice on Monday. He just didn't participate. So the fact that Tyrell did not participate, it's kind of scaring me a little bit. So on my rumor show, I said it was 2 Chucky heads whether or not he was going to be able to play. So depending on when you watch this video, we're not going to get a update on Tyrell Williams until Wednesday. So when that Wednesday report comes out, I promise you, I'll have a little bit more information, and I'll be able to give you guys more information. So use hashtag Raiders to have your questions featured live on air, or you guys can super chat me. And if I miss any of your questions, hit me up on IG, Twitter, Facebook, friend me. I'll make sure I'll do what I can. How about that? Let's go to L. Fuji. Trying to figure out the picture. Mitch, JJ has helped the Raiders win 3 games when he touches the ball 15 times or more. Is it time for Gruden to go all in with the run? That's a good stat, and it's a bad stat at the same time. It's a good stat because, yes, the Raiders are a better football team when they can rely on the running game, especially with Josh Jacobs. It's a bad stat because against the Vikings, they were losing basically the whole game, and Josh only had 10 carries for 44 yards, so you couldn't really run the football. And then the same thing against the Chiefs. Sure, they were winning 10-0 after the first quarter, but then Patrick Mahomes dropped 278 yards, 4 touchdowns in that second quarter. The Raiders were behind, and it's really hard to run the football when you're down 28-10. So it's a good stat, but I also am not crazy about it. But if the Raiders want to take that next step and be like a real legit team, like top 10, then yeah, you continue to run the football. Chris Davis, is that a beard? If that's a beard, that is impressive. Do you think Jacobs will be Rookie of the Year? Chris, I do. And I'm a man of my word. I've already put down $20 on Josh Jacobs winning Offensive Rookie of the Year at BetDSI. And, y'all should too. Y'all should go to BetDSI and bet on Josh Jacobs to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Go to chatsports.com/bet. Put down that promo code Raiders120 for 120% deposit bonus. We're giving you free money. Free money to go bet on something that's going to happen, and I'm going to give you a free t-shirt when you do. I don't know what more you guys want from me. Appreciate the question, but yeah, Josh Jacobs, he's winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. Rodrigo. Get a picture. But I appreciate the super chat. Do you think Zay Jones is ball against the Packers? I guess you mean, is he going to ball out versus the Packers? Or is he just going to ball? Do I think he's going to ball out? No. I'm expecting Zay Jones to get about 40, 50% of the snaps. So Mike Mayock liked Zay Jones a lot coming out of college. Zay Jones had 158 catches his last year at ECU. And I know Zay, for his sake, is very excited to be a Raider. Also, Zay's dad's very excited for him. I don't know if you've seen the comments that he's made. But all of this entire bye week, John was side by side with Zay and getting him working. And the funny quote that Zay had this week was like, yo, that guy loves football. That's one reason why I love John. Dude loves football. Let's go to Julius Smith, that close-up. Mitch, do you think now is the time to go after Jamal Adams? So just because the Jets said that they're in full fire sale mode, and if you watched our show on our main Chat Sports channel, it's youtube.com/chatsportstv, we talked about the Jets potentially, getting rid of Fletcher Assembly, potentially Leonard Williams, Le'Veon Bell, Tremaine Johnson. I just don't think Jamal Adams is on the market. Jamal Adams, in my opinion, minus Sam Darnold, is their most valuable asset. And yes, Jamal apparently unfollowed some people on Instagram, but the Jets have made no inclination whatsoever that Jamal Adams is available. Sure, guys, I mean this. I'm not afraid to make an ass of myself. I would do some really weird shit to get Jamal Adams in some silver and black. Jamal Adams is a Raider, man. You guys love Johnathan Abram. He's better than Johnathan Abram, and he's more physical. He is a very, very good player. That's why he had over 100 tackles his rookie year on a very bad team. Let's go to Esther M. Okay. Raiders are playoff contenders. It's good use of hashtag. They are playoff contenders. They're 3-2 right now, number 6 seed in the AFC West, or AFC. And they have a realistic chance, actually, to win that division. The Chiefs have dropped 2 games, and they have a Thursday night football game against the Broncos, who just won 2 straight. Patrick Mahomes is not healthy. So, yeah, I actually do think that the Raiders have a realistic chance to be a playoff contender. The Raiders are playing solid football right now. It's just, we're going to find out these next 3 weeks what kind of team we have. If we can win one game, and I mean this, one game out of our next 3, that's going to help. Because week 10, we're beating the Chargers. Week 11, Bengals, that's a win. Week 12 against the Jets, that's a win. So if we can win, realistically, 4 out of our next 7 games, I think that's really going to put us in a good position because we're beating the Titans, we're beating the Jags, we're going to beat the Chargers, we're going to beat the Broncos. We just got to get through some tough games here. And I'm telling you, playoffs. Tell me how many wins you guys think they're going to be in the... Tell me how many wins you think the Raiders will have in the comments section below. Oh, my Lord. Scott, get me out of this mess. Why can't this team find a true number 1 receiver? You're not going to like my answer. You're not going to like it. We found one. He just, he went crazy. So FAB in the comments section. Tyrell's a good receiver. He's a 1B receiver. But one wide receivers, they don't just grow on trees. There's a reason why they don't just, get released or get traded. Because they're very good. And as much as I like Stephon Diggs, I don't even know if he's a number 1 wide receiver. Yes, I think A.J. Green is. But realistically, going out, getting a player of Antonio Clown's caliber for a 3rd and a 5th, considering the fact that he had 6 straight years of over 1,000 yards, 15 touchdowns, 104 catches. Have you seen that I've talked about him before? That's why. Because sometimes shit happens and Antonio Brown's crazy. FAB. Caleb, one of my most loyal watchers. What up, fam? Is Isaiah Johnson a good addition to the Raiders? Just got off IR. Yes, it is going to help the team from a depth perspective. A very fast cornerback. So I think one of the things that the Raiders have been missing is speed in the secondary. So you've been seeing a lot. Those first 2 weeks, the Raiders gave up, I don't know if it's first 2 weeks or first 3, but 17-plus plays of 20-plus yards. That is way too many plays. So I don't think Isaiah's going to get a whole lot of snaps, but I still think he's going to be a player that has a high upside. He's a bigger corner out of Houston, drafted in the 4th round. So if Isaiah can show some of that speed, I do think it's at least a good addition. I can tell you one thing, it's not going to hurt. Go to Guy Sanders. Do you think DC will catch Drew Brees if yard percentage in a season? So I think that you're saying, is Derek Carr going to beat Drew Brees' completion percentage for the entire year? So the record was set by, I want to say Sam Bradford, and then it was broke again by Kirk Cousins, and then it was broke again by Drew Brees the last 3 years in a row. Derek right now is on pace, I believe, to break it. but still breaking records is not very easy, and you're going to see Derek get into a pretty tough schedule here. So I'm going to say no, but hey, I definitely wouldn't mind it. So if you think it's going to happen, though, throw some DCs in the comment section. Now, yeah, I've said this before. My family, we've had a fantasy football league for 14 years. Y'all are my second family, and I appreciate you all very much. But let me just say this. I will whoop you in FanDuel. So if you guys want to challenge me on FanDuel, go to FanDuel.com/chatsports. This past week, I won $20. I started Stephon Diggs. Yeah, it's just straight up brag. But challenge me on FanDuel. Or if you want to challenge your family, go to FanDuel.com/chatsports. But you got to go to FanDuel.com/chatsports. $20 free with your first $20 deposit. It's a really good deal. Fantasy football is fun. If you guys want to challenge me, come on, hit me up. Let's go to Big Daddy. Great movie, by the way. What are your thoughts on Raiders taking Jerry Jeudy and Henry Ruggs in the first round next year? Mike Mayock can find defensive gems in the later rounds. It's a good idea, but if the Raiders keep winning football games, Jerry Jeudy and Henry Ruggs, I don't know if they're available to them. I mean, I think Jerry Judy's a top 10 pick. Henry Ruggs is an interesting player. I would much rather have Jerry Jeudy over Ruggs. The one player whose name is escaping me for Oklahoma, CeeDee Lamb, that's a receiver who I think looks really, really good right now. You're going to be hearing a lot of those three receivers, though, in the offseason. Make sure you're subscribed, youtube.com/Raiders Report, because we're going to be talking a lot about the Raiders draft rumors. Let's go to Rodrigo. Get a picture, Rodrigo. Do you think Chiefs are going downhill? Is that a pun? Because if it's a pun, it's a good pun. I think they are going downhill a little bit. They're banged up right now. But you could see the Chiefs go out and make a move, because the Chiefs, if they really want to contend with a team like the Patriots, they're going to have to make a move. But I think it's funny how, Tyreek Hill comes back, they lose a game. Karma? Anyone? Type karma in the comments section. So continue to use hashtag Raiders to have your questions featured on air. I think I have time for one more from Nicholas. Mitchell, who do you see the Raiders signing before the season's up? If there's one player I would love for the Raiders to sign, it's George Iloka. I think he'd be a great fit with this defense. Also, I'd be interested to see if they sign Brandon Marshall, see where he's at, because if he's healthy, I would imagine he at least would kind of know the defense a little bit. So, Nicholas, I appreciate your question, and if I missed your question, I'm sorry. We had a lot of them. Hit me up on IG or on Twitter. It's @MitchellRenz365, and I appreciate everyone who's watched the video all the way to the end. So if you've watched the video all the way to the end, go to www.RaiderNationStore.net, get yourself a t-shirt, but you got to use Mitch20 for 20% off. So Nicholas, I appreciate you, and I appreciate all of our subscribers here. We got over 700 people watching. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you do. youtube.com/Raiders Report. Raider Nation, what's going on? Is this the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube? For Chucky Heads, believe it, baby. And if you haven't already, subscribe right here. I'm giving you Chucky Heads, news, rumors, Raider Nation rumors. And look at this, I'm making your life easier. Check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and go Raiders.